Welcome. My name's Kevin. I'm with Whitehorse Gold, and thank you for attending this afternoon. First, I have to go through our customary and necessary disclaimer put out by lawyers. If you want to read it, please go to our website. It's at whitehorsegold.ca. So, what are we here talking about today? Whitehorse Gold has 100% ownership in the Skookum Gold Project, located in the Yukon Territory, Canada. It's a high-grade gold asset. We have 43-101 resources on 3 different deposits. We have near-term upside. We've just recently completed a 17,000-meter drill program, 44 holes, and to date we've released results from only 7 of the 44 holes, so a lot of news to come. We did a $15.3 million funding this year, and we currently have about $7 million of that left in the bank. We have a proven management team with a track record of building companies and building mines. Here's our capital markets profile. Currently about 53 million shares outstanding, 67 million shares fully diluted. We have one very large shareholder at 29%, very supportive, both involved in our seed financing and also in our most recent financing. Our proven management team that I talked about, myself, I'm the mining engineer in the group. I'm here to advance the project to a development phase. Dr. Ri Fang, one of our directors, a serial entrepreneur with a track record of success of building companies. And then 3 of our directors and management team, Dr. Mark Cruz, Steve Stacku, who's here with me today, and Tim Kingsley. They were all part of another company that basically went from where we are today, a small company with a single exploration asset, and built a multi-mine operating company with over $1 billion market cap. So, Skookum Gold Project. This shows the location of it in relationship to Whitehorse. Whitehorse is the capital of the Yukon Territory, and we are about 85 kilometers, or just over an hour's drive from the Whitehorse Airport. Put it in perspective, if you're getting on an airplane in Vancouver, you could be on our site in 3 hours, which is a pretty unique situation in the north of Canada. We don't have access issues, we can get there year-round. We have 170 square kilometers, and there's 140,000 meters of drilling from the historic workings. Here you can see also our resources indicated and inferred. So we already have 335,000 ounces in the indicated category at 7.8 grams per ton gold equivalent, and an additional 245,000 ounces in the inferred category at 6.9 grams per ton gold equivalent. And when I'm talking gold equivalent, I'm talking about gold and silver. Zooming in on our claim package, you see the 3 red stars there. Those are the 3 deposits where we have resources. Those resources I mentioned are spread over the 3 properties. This Mount Skookum property on the left-hand side is the past producer. It ran from 1986 to 1988, and it produced close to 80,000 ounces from only 233,000 tons of mill feed. That's a third of an ounce per ton. We still have those underground workings are accessible, and we also have a 300 ton per day gold mill on site, which we can use again. It's got some equipment in it we can use, some equipment we don't want, some equipment we want to upgrade. As well, we have 2 additional high-grade deposits, the Skookum Creek deposit, which is our largest resource, and the Goodell deposit, which is our 2nd largest resource today. And across those 3 deposits, we have over 6 kilometers of underground development already. Here you see the resource estimate by deposit, and I mentioned Skookum Creek earlier. We already have over 1 million tons in the Skookum Creek deposit, and over 500,000 tons in the inferred, and over 1 million tons in the indicated category. Goodell, which is our 2nd biggest deposit, has close to 200,000 ounces at 8 grams per ton gold equivalent in the indicated category, and 7 grams per ton gold in the inferred category. And then you can see Mount Skookum, the past producer. Skookum Creek deposit. We'll explain a little bit about each one of our deposits now. So those 2 portals, behind those 2 portals, there's over 3 kilometers of underground development. This mine was developed for production back in the 80s. It didn't go into production because of metal prices at the time, they dropped. However, we have a fully developed mine behind those portals. We have a down ramp, we have ventilation raises, we have ore passes, waste passes. It's basically ready to go once we get in and rehab the ground. The ground conditions are excellent. Christian was on site about 3 weeks ago, and he can attest to that. It's a massive granodiorite host rock, and there's been very little deterioration of the workings. And here you can see a long section of the Skookum Creek deposit. You can see it covers about 1 kilometer in strike length, about 700 meters in vertical extent. And our most recent drill results that we released was above the Rainbow 2 zone. You see over on the left-hand side, in the middle of the 3 zones on the left-hand side. And that was a 150 meter step out from an existing hole, potentially extending the resources at drill length of 4.2 meters and approximately 28 grams per ton gold and another 300 grams per ton silver. Quite significant. And unfortunately, we don't have any other results that we can share at this point. The Goodell deposit is on a 5 kilometer trend. If you look on the left-hand side, you can see where the Goodell resource is. And if you look on the right-hand side over to the east, there was a past-producing antimony mine on that same trend. So, the Goodell deposit itself is only about 500 meters long, so it only represents about 10% of that total trend. The potential here is probably greater than Skookum Creek, but we won't know until we get underground. Very steep terrain, so we need to get underground to drill this one. And you can see here that there is an underground decline there. It goes in for about 1 kilometer. And our goal is to be back underground in the next couple of years, rehab that ground, and start drilling this deposit. Over on the left-hand side of that image, some of the drilling that was done from underground, there are some resource grades. There's some good grades over there that are not included in the resource just because they're too far out from the existing resource. So one of the first things we would do here is we would fill in the gap there to extend those resources and then start looking further along strike and then up and down. And finally, the Mount Skookum deposit, the smallest of the 3 deposits. It produced again from 1986 to 1988, primarily from the Cirque zone, which is at the bottom right there. And there was some minor amounts of material came out of the Brandy veins and the lake zone as well. It produced 80,000 ounces from 233,000 tons of ore, and our geologists believe that there's still potential at depth here. If you see those horizontal blue lines on the bottom cross-section, that represents essentially the depth of the drilling that was put into the deposit. So there is a lot of potential here to drill deeper and potentially extend this and make it significant resources again. So what are our key catalysts? Well, we have news flow. As I mentioned, we drilled 44 holes this year, and we've only released the results for 7 of those holes. We're like everybody else, we're waiting on the assay lab. The assay labs are up to 3 months now, as soon as we get the results, we'll be putting them out. We expect to have news flow from here to the end of the year and well into Q1 2022. As well, we've got potential new discoveries on the deposits. We did a significant airborne geophysics this year, and that covered the whole property as well as a land-based sampling and a mapping program. And combined, we hope that will generate even further targets. We have over 24 surface targets on this property with double-digit gold grades on them that have never been followed up on. The potential here is tremendous. As well, we're going back to the metallurgical lab in Q1 of 2022 to advance the metallurgical as part of our development plan, looking at bringing the Skookum Creek deposit into production in the near future. So in summary, we have a very large-scale property with good resources, high-grade resources, with potential to expand those resources, as well as numerous targets on that property. We were fully funded this year, conducted an extensive drill program this year, 17,000 meters, 44 drill holes, and we still have 37 holes to release. The drill holes we've released so far have been very good, and it's led by a seasoned management team with a proven track record of success. Questions? Sir?
One of the biggest
No, well, we have road access. We have road access from Whitehorse, which is the capital of the Yukon, year-round. The Yukon government maintains the road to about 10 kilometers from our site. We only have 10 kilometers that we have to maintain, clear snow really. And on our property we have an extensive network of exploration roads, so we do very little helicopter work on our site because we have such good access, great infrastructure.
That's beneficial for the company.
Oh, definitely. Saves us a lot of money on exploration. Our drilling costs are, well, all in are about $200 a meter compared to some other places which are significantly higher. Yeah.
Any more questions? I've got one question for you, Kevin.
Oh.
You've done quite a bit of drilling, some assay spending. When do you expect the next resource update? Do you want any more drilling done next year, or do you want a resource update?
No, well, the resource update we're not sure about at this point. We definitely will be drilling again next year. We're prepared. We need to get all of our drill results in before we can make our plans for next year. Certainly our plans will be dependent on results, but we will definitely be drilling next year. That's our plan.
And what's your ideal target in number of ounces?
Well, we don't have an ideal target. You know, given all the infrastructure we have on site, the capital cost to bring this property to production would be very low. So we're looking at where we are right now and seeing if it's realistic to even take it to production where we are right now, and continue to grow the ounces once we get underground, and continue to grow the ounces because there's a lot of potential there. We're confident, and because of the infrastructure that makes that possible.
Okay. Thanks, Kevin.
Sir.
Yeah, sorry. I just noticed you guys just closed a got pre-approval for a $50 million base. Is that to fund drilling in the future, or you got other plans for that?
Well, the 15 million was raised in the spring of this year.
Yeah.
And so we spent a portion of that this year for drilling. We currently sit with about $7 million in the bank right now. Part of the expenditure this year was reopening the camp. It had been shut down since 2011, so we had to reopen the camp. And we did some permitting work, and we're going to continue the permitting work because we have to get underground. We need some additional permits, so we're working on those permits as well. But certainly the bulk of the money is going into the ground.
Sure. And then that base would just be for future exploration. Like, I think November 9th, you guys put out a $50 million base on your website. Base shell finance.
Oh yeah, that'll be for future work. Absolutely, yeah, that'd be for future financings. That's right. We don't have any plans to go out for financing at this moment. Yeah, thank you. No.